loaders and casters? Welcome to the Door Shooting Connection Friday night live stream. Uh, we hope y'all had a good week. You know, next Friday is a very special Friday, and we'll
Yes,
probably talk about that next week. Uh, CW, how was your week? Tell us about that Thai food, brother.
Boy, oh boy, it went fast. Yeah, I discovered Thai food this week.
spicy.
No, I don't like spicy so much, but it's not all spicy. It's just some of it's spicy. So I found one that wasn't, and boy, oh boy, oh boy, I've had it 3 times now in the past week. I like it. I like it a lot. Good week. It went by real fast. We had a couple of nice days. We had a couple of rainy days. I got to the range. I've been playing with two new cartridges for my channel. I don't think there's been videos on any of them yet, so I won't say too much. But having a good time with them, and more to come. Hopefully tomorrow I can get to the range. We're going to do some upgrades at the range, and I might do a little shooting too. We'll see how many people are there. It's a Saturday, so. Mark, Emma, how was your week? What's going on? How are you?
Been good. Just doing some renovation and reloading the room, bunch of reloading, trying to stock up some 9mm and some, loaded a few, about 20 more 300 PRCs for a different load that I'm wanting to work on. Other than that, not much. Kyle?
Good afternoon or evening, however the case may be, to everybody. Hope everybody's doing all right. My week was rather eventful. Getting everything polished up for the weekend. I got to work another 5 days straight. I had to work today, so that'll be 6 days straight. But then I get a little bit of time off, and hopefully I can spend it with some good friends and make it worth it. Other than that, everything is going good. We're just, I guess, keeping it real, praying for some rain. Good God.
What's clouding up?
The pollen, what they consider extremely high is 500 for a pollen count. It was almost 7,000 the other day. I just went in the shower and sandblasted my eyeballs. It's missing a great chance to rain right now, and I'm sure it won't do it. But anyway, Mike, how you doing, brother?
Well, I walked outside to get a little backer out of the truck, and it was raining. Now, it might not mount to a hill of beans, but at least it was raining. Every little drop counts right now. It's dry as a popcorn fart.
Yep, you ain't wrong.
So, no, I've been struggling with my right knee, and it hurts a lot, and I try not to complain about it. I gimp around the shot and putting up some fishing stuff today. I was wheeling around there in an office chair, hanging things up, and I felt like an invalid, but whatever. And it's that time of year, people want to go fishing, want to go up to the South Mountain State Park to catch some trout and whatnot. But just getting ready for the groundhog shoot. I do most of that on my own. That used to be a 5-man team that did it. When Larry did it, he'd delegate all these women to do his work for him, and I do it all myself. So I've made scoreboards. I've glued up 18 eggs with toothpicks glued on the strings, so easy to stick in the box. And we take little I call them office clips, those black clips that are pretty stout. They're paper clips, but they just pinch open, and that way we can hang them in the box pretty good. I've got the boxes painted black, got all the targets numbered. All I got to do is load up that trailer, and I hope I can elicit a little bit of help for that, and we'll see. That's going to be the 11th. I honored Easter by not having it on the first Saturday in April this year, so I hope people don't get too messed up because they're used to the first Saturday in April. But I've tried to put it out on Accurate Shooter. I'm putting it out here. I don't know if anybody listens that comes to the groundhog shoot here, but in any case, that's what I've been doing. Jamie, how about you?
Oh man, I just found one of these.
Yeah, that's it. One of them clear. One of them there things.
Yeah, they call them heavy duty paper clips, but I use them to clamp my targets to whatever holding up the target. So I tape my targets down to a backer, and then I use these to clamp it to that mesh stuff that's up there. I don't like it. The wind blows it around as you're got to work on that. But anyway,
I used one of them one time about that size, and Chad was giving me grief. You know, he's in a wheelchair, so he can't move all that quick. And he was giving me grief and giving me a hard time. I reached over and clipped one of them things right on his top of his ear. He squalled. He threw stuff. He threw a stapler at me. I got good at ducking.
I'm surprised he didn't shoot you in the knee.
Nah, he knows I'm armed too.
Inside joke, guys.
Yeah.
If y'all were watching a couple of weeks ago, y'all get it. Hey, Dwayne, there's Bull. Yeah, man. Lots of stuff going on around here. I'm trying to decide when I'm going to stop going to work every day. Hey, Papa's Place. Yeah, we're it's getting that way. It's getting to the point where I don't have time to work a full-time job anymore. So,
Ain't that the truth?
and it's getting about to the point where I'm going to be losing money by going to work every day. It's my retirement and my pension and my Social Security is going to added together. It's going to surpass what I'm bringing home for very much longer. So once that point gets here, I'll be. There's old one guy. We're going to call y'all out at the bottom of the hour. So tonight, what we wanted to talk about was. It does, don't it, Edward? Edward Petty said, work always got in the way of things. It does, man. Y'all don't tell my wife this, and I can tell y'all this because I know she don't ever watch. You know, my wife is over there watching. She's in our bedroom right now, on the love seat, watching reels on Facebook, but she won't watch a JH586 or a Georgia Shooting Connection video to save her life, man. I'm telling you. As far as I know, she has never watched one of my videos. I tell you what, I think she watched the first one, and the first one was so terrible. She probably said in her mind.
That the one with you and Kyle sitting in the yard there talking?
Sitting at the kitchen table at Kyle's house.
Yeah.
Yep.
And she's like, I ain't never doing this crap no more.
God, that was a minute ago.
Yeah. Yeah. Kyle, do you realize that next month that'll be 9 years ago?
Yep. Yes. Like I said, it's been a minute.
Wow, man, I'm getting so old. I actually had a shorter beard. I had a waistline back then.
You were so young and exuberant.
Nah, I wouldn't go that far. Now at work, I'm just a grumpy old man. You know?
Well, you've earned it.
Yeah,
Come by it on, right?
I would consider it an honor if they called me the old one-eyed fat man.
Yeah,
You're
there
the
you go.
curmudgeon.
He's Rooster.
That's what they need to call me. Anyway, thank y'all for joining us tonight. Tonight we want to talk about 50 cows, and maybe if we have time, we'll get into some um, dangerous African game cartridges, which I know absolutely nothing about. So, when you think about, we'll go through the panel, and you guys on the side chat, y'all throw in. When you say 50 caliber, what do you think about? First thing I think about is 50 BMG. CW, what do you think about?
5090.
By my dad.
BMG.
Rebel?
Hawking.
Dang, man.
You can't go no better.
Right. Yeah. Kyle, what do you think?
BMG.
Yeah. There you go. Bull said, now we're talking. He's excited about 50 cal. Glenn Davis said muzzle loader. Paul Loud BMG 500 lime ball and BMG.
Woo!
Fud with a
Line
gun.
ball. Man.
Fud with a gun.
I was going to say 50 Smith & Wesson, but
and Hawking. 50 Alaskan. We'll have to look that up. GGW 50 AE. The old
50 GI.
What does that mean?
50 GI?
What?
The 50 GI, Jamie?
I've never heard of that.
Yeah.
It's a real thing.
Cartridge.
I'm still thinking of this. How do you get 50 Jiffy and a Hawking?
I don't know.
Maybe he's been chewing on.
that's got to be from Daniel.
Yeah, that's Bo giving me crap about Jiffy. Papa's Place, I like it. BMG. Meg.
Hi, Mig. Bye, Mig.
Oh, Bo, stop it.
I have no desire to have a 50 BMG because there ain't no place around here I could shoot it.
Look at that mess. Did you catch some crappy bull?
I bet he did.
I bet when he was out on the boat, supposed to be working, he took a spinning reel and some jigs with him.
One of those, Mike?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Down there where he lives and where he works, you can catch more crappie by accident.
And he'll rock it.
I got one upstairs just like it, and I got a live one too.
Yeah, I think it's on the table, but it's a dud.
Yeah.
A dummy.
Lake City.
Yeah.
I don't know what mine is. I hadn't looked at the stamp.
All right, let's do this. Yeah, I know it, Paul. Don't have the range or the shoulders. BMG. Or you can be really brave like one of our brothers and just not put your hearing protection on when you shoot it.
Oh.
If they get rid of the NFA, I'd sell off a couple of vehicles, maybe get a Mod Deuce. Boy, that be cool.
All right, let's talk about 50 BMG first. That seems to be the BMG stands for Browning Machine Gun. So John Browning designed this particular round. Actually, no. Um, the cartridge was developed for the M2 Browning heavy machine gun in the late 1910s, entering official service in 1921. Uh, the cartridge itself has been made in many variants, multiple generations of regular ball tracer, armor piercing, incendiary, and subbodied subcaliber penetrator rounds. The round intended for machine guns are made into continuous ammunition belts using metallic links. Oh, we know all that. 50 BMG cartridge is also used as a anti-material rifles. A wide variety of ammunition is available, and availability of match grade ammunition has increased its usefulness. Hornady makes that Hornady match in 50 BMG. So, in response to the need for a new anti-aircraft weaponry during World War I, John Browning developed the 50 BMG. He wanted the round to be used in a machine gun based on a scaled-up version of the M1917 Browning. They used that M1917 all the way through Vietnam. The driving force seems to be the German 13.2 millimeter TUF, which Germany developed as an anti-tank rifle to combat British tanks during World War I and against aircraft. American Rifleman says actually the Browning 50 originated in the Great War. American interest in an armor-piercing cartridge was influenced by the marginal French 11 millimeter, which is 0.43 CW design, prompting U.S. Army Ordnance officials to consult Browning. They wanted a heavy projectile at 2,700 feet per second, but the ammunition did not exist. Browning pondered the situation, and according to his son, John replied, "Well, the cartridge sounds pretty good to start. You make up some cartridges and we'll do some shooting." So Ordnance contracted with Winchester to design the 50 caliber cartridge. Subsequently, Frankfurt Arsenal took over from Winchester, producing the historic 50 BMG cartridge. The Army then returned to John Browning for the actual gun. Teamed with Colt, he produced prototypes ready for testing and ironically completed them by November 11th, 1918, the Great War's end.
I heard that the 50 BMG was a scaled up 30-06.
I've heard that.
Yeah.
Sure looks like it.
And
Yeah.
I've also heard that 30-06 is a scaled up 223. So
Actually, I think a 222. If you want to go even further back, but
so the round was put into use in the M1921 Browning machine gun, which was a water-cooled 50 caliber machine gun designed by John Moses Browning. Development began in 1917 when Browning scaled up his 30 caliber M1917 to chamber a 50 caliber round, resulting in the prototype tested in 1918. So yeah, that's pretty much telling you it's a enlarged 30-06. Uh, During World War II, the 50 BMG was primarily used in the M2 Browning machine gun in both its light barrel, aircraft mounted version and the heavy barrel version on ground vehicles for anti-aircraft purposes. An upgraded variant of the M2 Browning heavy barrel machine gun used during World War II is still in use today. Since the mid 1950s, some armored personnel carriers and utility vehicles have been designed to withstand 50 BMG machine gun fire, thereby limiting the destruction to capability of the M2. It still has more penetrating power than lighter weapons, as such general purpose machine guns, and though it is significantly heavier and more cumbersome to transport. Its range and accuracy, however, are superior to the light machine guns when fixed on tripods. It has not been replaced as a standard caliber for Western vehicle mounted machine guns. Uh, and the Soviet and CIS armored vehicles mount 12.7 by 108 millimeter NSVs, which have similar dimensions to the 50 BMG. Decades later, the 50 BMG was chambered in high-powered rifles as well. The Barrett M82 rifle was developed during the 1980s, and along with later variants, has upgraded the anti-materiel power of the military sniper. So yeah,
I just saw an interview with Rob Furlong, the Canadian sniper that made the longest kill in Afghanistan, or during the, because it went back and forth, American, Canadian, British, then finally fell with Canadian. It was well over 2,000 yards.
He could write a letter in the bullet travel time.
Yep. Yep. Sure could.
Sorry about your loved one.
Yeah.
Damn, Bama.
I think he wrote "get some" and sent it, you know. But very Canada produces some. They've got an excellent sniper program. So
I've never heard anybody say anything bad about them.
no,
Not people that actually served in the field with them.
you're right.
I have nothing bad to say about it. All you got to do is really, unless you're dealing with taking out armor, all you really have to do is get close. The mass of that round going at that speed, all it's got to do is get right by somebody, and it's going to rip something off.
Yeah, 750 grain projectile is no joke. And then they got.
I don't want to get into detail, but I've seen crazy stuff happen.
They got
like
you can be off by 3 inches.
powder in them.
Do what?
Well, they got like 2 tablespoons of powder in them.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Just about that much, yeah.
And then you got Ralphus rounds they developed, which is depleted uranium, and that's that's nasty. You know.
y'all want to see some pictures of modern?
What does that do? Somebody tell me, what is the depleted uranium? What's the deal with that?
It spalls. So when it goes through something, it okay, molten lava, if you can imagine that.
Exactly.
Yeah, I've heard tales that
Depending
they'll
on
use
what it is.
infrared and they'll shoot through walls,
Oh yeah, sure.
make kills through the walls.
Yeah, Jamie, show some pictures. Love me some gun porn.
We're going to show these
Warren,
pictures.
Warren.
Browning M2. That's the model.
With my deuce. I had a friend that melted down the barrel on one at a fire base in Vietnam. He's passed on now, but he was a buck sergeant at the time. His commanding officer got on him, and he said, "We didn't get hit last night with mortar fire, did we?" He said, "Well, no, we didn't." Oh, that's a Barrett right there.
Flamethrower.
And
That fireball.
the Canadians, from what I understand,
It's
use
not a flamethrower. It is an atmosphere remover.
Yeah,
It says, excuse me, I'm coming through.
the Canadians
I heard
use
the earth slows down when you shoot one of them.
Macmillan TAC 50s, I think.
God.
U.S. Barrett calls it the 82A1. U.S. military calls it the M107A1. Is available in either a 20 or 29 inch fluted barrel. And this semi-auto weighs 29 to 32 pounds with a 10-pound magazine.
Because it has to. Because it has to.
If it didn't, you wouldn't want to shoot it.
I can get y'all one of those.
I'm sure you can.
Yeah. For a small nominal fee.
Here you go.
I've got plenty of rounds down range of one. I don't want one.
Yeah.
It's low felt recoil and reliable power delivers on target with every trigger pull.
I'm
Model
sorry.
82 is an American icon. Can you imagine with that, if it's as accurate as they say? And apparently it is. Even in semi-auto.
They are.
Man, what could a good sniper do with something like that?
For what it,
It control a
for what it can destroy.
2 mile circle.
Look
For
at
what
that.
it can destroy, the recoil is surprisingly low.
They say it's about like with a brake on it, it's about like a 12 gauge. The concussion is what's rough.
Yeah. This is the Armalite.
That's why the muzzle brakes on them.
A1.
Hmm.
Single shot bolt action
Why
rifle.
the muzzle brakes push everything off to the side.
Do they have a picture of a Macmillan TAC 50?
I don't know. We're getting there. There's only 4 of them.
Okay.
That's your Armalite option. It's a single shot bolt action. And it's
That's still, even if you reload, that's $10 a pop.
Well, yeah.
it's got a 30-inch barrel and weighs 34 pounds. There's your Accuracy International. That's a bolt action.
I think that's what the British shot. Kyle, I don't know if you were ever around any British troops.
I've been around a few of them, but that was before then.
Okay.
This is a 27-inch barrel. And, hey, man, it only weighs 26.5 pounds.
Woo! A lightweight.
Anorexic.
Designed to withstand constant military deployment. And this last one's going to flip y'all's wig. The Lynx.
No,
Oh, bullpup.
no. You're getting all that port noise? No. Is that a semi or a bolt? I ain't got my reading glasses on.
At that point, it doesn't matter, Mike.
Mm-mm. Ah!
I got a headache just looking at that picture.
You need a dentist after firing a couple shots after that.
You ain't wrong.
2000.
Especially if it's a bolt action.
Apparently, it's a semi-auto.
No.
It's
Well,
reciprocating
it's better than a bolt.
barrel.
Not for port noise, Kyle.
And there's that 50 BMG.
A-tip.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Jamie, say that about the barrel again.
Its most unique feature
What did
is
you say
its
about the barrel?
reciprocating and locking barrel.
That's going to take away a lot of the recoil, though.
Yeah. Yep.
So it's basically an A5, right?
On steroids.
Yeah. There's PMC.
The thing about it is, you got that 12-pound barrel slamming back into your shoulder too. So,
yeah.
But it does take away a lot of the recoil to move that 12-pound barrel because I think that's about what it weighs.
Let me see if
Even though it's only 16 inches long, 18 inches long.
Glenn Davis, I always got to see something I ain't found a picture of yet. And it's going to be, I guarantee you, knowing Glenn, this is going to be the best one of all of them. I hope they don't have a price on here. Are we over 18, y'all?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep. We're at 35. Or 34.
I don't want to say.
Yeah, I think that's the. Yeah, let's do this.
Well, I know that Barrett's probably north of 15 grand.
I was pretty much right. Thanks, Glenn. You the man. Look at that. Fluted bolt action. Probably what, 3 round?
Yeah.
Look at the barrel on that mug, man.
What is it?
That's your Macmillan 50.
That's the Macmillan. Yeah.
That appears to be a folding stock.
It is.
Adjustable length of pull and
I'd like to see the backpack. I'd like to see the backpack you're going to put that in.
All right, we got to call out side chat because I blew it. I talked too long.
You did.
50.
50.
Ha ha, beat CW. Nanner.
Nanner.
Yeah. Ricky Baird, when you get down here, buddy, me and you got to go eat Thai food. CW's getting my mouth watering talking about it. All right, here we go. Y'all ready? Paul, are we talking age or maturity? Yeah. I'm over 50. All right, first in was Kyle Lusk. He's on the panel and in the side chat. I don't know what Bama did there. % 0.
I had the cap button down.
All right, so Bama Dad's on the panel. Cat. So is Mike Hester, Paul Loud, 1911's out there. I love that. Bama Dad again. GGW Outdoors, what's going on? Go Dogs. Ricky Baird is out there. Dwayne 7834. Ron 2A Matters. Alaska 1 Andy. Walter Viejo. Hey guys, we're missing you, man. Papa's Place. Edward Petty. 01 guy. CW2A is on the panel. Andy 79Z28. What's going on, man? Mark Thomas is out there. What's going on, bud? Crash, Rack, and Shoot. What's going on, Crash? And Walter says he's closer to my second 50 than most of y'all's. Most of his Crash is out there. All right, guys. Thank y'all for joining us this evening. I'm going the wrong way. Bull had to leave.
Doing the old fish cleaning.
Yeah. Man, I'm telling you. Think about it, Paul. That's a great point. We're still using 1911s, people walking around with them all day, every day. That 50 BMG is still in service by the military. I don't know. I don't think he could have. I don't know. And Bull's got a good point.
I don't think he could have fathomed it.
Y'all think he ever thought people would make it into a sniper rifle?
You know, the state of
it's been a
Tennessee
good one.
made that. That's the state gun of Tennessee. I don't know if any other states have a state gun.
Yeah, that
Leave it to
bull
Tennessee.
bullpup, that action was really close to your face. That's a little scary.
Well, if it blows up, just stick a thumb in it.
There's my brother Thor's axe. What's going on, man? Hope you're doing well, Dave. And Miss Kitty's back. She was the first in tonight. Gotta tell y'all, the ladies are beating us old guys. Oh,
It doesn't take much, brother.
Glenn Davis typed in his 50. But we all knew he was here. There's M. Gabriel. What's going on, brother? I think that gets us up to date. All right, we did the McMillan thing.
Jamie, did you get that picture I sent you?
I ain't looked at my
Copy that.
phone yet. I'm kind of busy.
No.
I can't believe this ain't. I'm going to do it anyway. I'm probably going to get in trouble. Just for you, Rebel.
Don't get no better.
Look at that. Look at that case colored lock.
I love a case hardened anything.
I know. Remember,
I got a Thompson Center sitting right back here. And technically, Jamie, that's not a firearm.
No, it's not a firearm. Yeah.
that sure is pretty. Remember Jeremiah Johnson wanted that 50 cal?
Got it off a Hatchet Jack.
Killed the bear that killed me.
It killed the bar. What killed me?
I Hatchet Jack, being of sound mind and broke legs.
All they want to tell us about is the traditions.
If you were to want to look up Lyman, they got a pretty one.
Yeah, I got one right here. It's the one you've seen many times in years past. It's right here under the TV. Mine's a 54 though. The Hawken 50 is over the door.
Thompson Center used to have a kit where you could build one.
Yep.
Tradition still has it, but
Yep.
Thompson Center.
Yeah, you used to could buy it at Bass Pro Shops on the bottom shelf.
28-inch barrel, percussion, walnut, brass trim,
Yep.
unassembled, and the factory carton.
And beautiful.
Yeah, my Renegade was one of those.
That's what I have, the Renegade.
Yeah, my Renegade 50 was one of those. My Hawken was a block gun. Basically the same. One's got brass, one doesn't.
Yeah.
A different butt too. And the Hawken's got a crescent, and the
Renegade's flat.
Renegade's flat. Yeah, shotgun.
And it doesn't have a patch box either.
Right. That's right. No patch box. Yeah.
Which I didn't need no stinking patch box.
We don't need no stinking pet box.
Yeah, the Thompson Centers are nice.
I've killed everything walking or crawling with that thing.
I always thought I wanted a 32. Never did get one.
I got a 30, the 32 or 36. I think it's 32. It's right up. Well, I won't show it. But anyway,
But they were smaller action,
yeah, it's a
smaller,
Seneca.
thinner, lighter. The Seneca. Yeah.
Yeah.
45s and they do 36 in that, I think, too, didn't they? Or just 32s?
I
I know it was
think they did.
45.
Well, they had the Seneca and the Cherokee.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm thinking of. Yeah.
Yeah. This was never been fired, and then it belonged to my mother-in-law, and she left it to my daughter. But when they put the lock in later years, Thompson was bad not to relieve that area as much, and so it's got a little crack that I need to fix. It doesn't go deep. It's just where they push the lock in. Over time, it's dried and got wet, dried, got wet, dried, got wet, and it popped. I need to fill that in, which I can do that, no problem. Doesn't affect the integrity of it. What I need to do is go squirrel hunting with it.
They did make 32 caliber.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, one was a 32, one was a 36.
This guy
Really pretty.
on this forum has a Thompson Center Hawken 50 caliber with a Green Mountain 32 caliber barrel.
Well, that's the long range. Green Mountain made those long range barrels, faster twist.
Did they do the gain twist barrels?
I don't know if they did gain twist. They did really fast twists.
They were 1 in 48. The Hawkins and the Renegades.
Yeah,
I don't know about the smaller calibers, but
and I think the Green Mountains were 1 in 20 something.
yeah, that was that European one. But Lyman's, a lot of those were 1 in 20.
Yeah.
Conical twist. And the 1 in 66 was the round ball.
Although
Twist.
my 1 in 48 shoots conicals just fine.
Yeah, 48's a compromise twist. Works good for both. I shot balls fine out of my 48. I was really surprised.
I killed a deer with some of those buffalo bullets. That's the softest lead bullet I've ever seen.
Oh, yeah.
In my life. That thing turns into a skull can when you hit.
It sure does. Oh man, it sure does.
All right, we finished 50 BMG, didn't we?
Yeah.
Here's, I want to talk about some pistol rounds next.
Sure.
Yes, sir.
First one they want to talk about is, of course, the 50 AE, stands for Action Express. To be shot out of Magnum Research's semi-automatic Desert Eagle pistol. And it's the parent case of many other cartridges, including one that another one on this list. So think about this: 30 grains of select powder under a 325 grain bullet, based on Hodgdon reloading data, creates velocity of between 1,300 and 1,400 feet per second. 325 grain bullet going almost 357 Magnum speeds.
I'd say that's sufficient.
Yeah. Two companies making factory ammo, Buffalo Bore, offering span the gamut of bullet weights from 300 to 380 grains. And these loads send projectiles downrange at 1,500 feet per second to 1,250 feet per second, respectively. Underwood also makes it, and they use a 230 grain monolithic bullet at 1,700 feet per second to a 325 grain load with a bonded hollow point moving at 1,475 feet per second. Yeah.
If you shoot something, you better dodge that front sight because it's coming at you.
Yeah, and that's coming out of a semi-automatic handgun, which is front heavy anyway.
Here's some load data for you for a 500 Smith & Wesson Magnum. 440 grain cast bullet with 31 grains of unspecified powder. I'm not telling anybody anything. And the average speed was almost 2,600 feet per second.
How much?
31 grains over or under a 440 grain cast bullet. Almost 2,600 feet per second.
That's stupid.
That's 30-06 speed. Almost.
It is stupid, and it hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then there's 50 Beowulf, and y'all would say, well, that's a rifle round. But if you put a short barrel on an AR, it's called a pistol. It's technically a pistol, and you chamber it in 50 Beowulf, it's still a 50 caliber pistol. 50 Beowulf, which is intended for rifle length barrel, 16 inches, doesn't lose much for barrels. The author chronographed a 325 grain load, and it only lost 100 feet per second against a 300 grain load out of a 12-inch barrel, as advertised by Alexander Arms. They make it. So,
For those of you that don't know, Bill Alexander created the 6.5 Grendel, and if you know your Nordic history, Grendel was the monster and the Beowulf was the killer of the Grendel. So he named it after that. I think you have to enlarge in the CW might correct me, but I think with the 458 and the 50 Beowulf, you have to actually enlarge the ejection port on an AR.
all right, check this out for 50 Beowulf. Tell me what y'all think.
Yes.
Right, Alexander Arms loads a 300 grain bullet at 1,793 feet per second. That's what they advertise. So this guy's shooting a 12-inch barrel and a 325 grain bullet, and it's traveling at 1,593 feet per second. So he's lost 200 feet per second with a 4-inch shorter barrel and a 25 grain heavier bullet.
I don't think whatever you're shooting at's going to notice.
Yeah. Then there's the 500 Smith & Wesson Magnum. Ironically, revolvers, while being one of the oldest and therefore least modern firearms in existence outside of black powder firearms, can be scaled up easier than many other firearm platforms. This makes the most modern cartridges capable of being fired through a revolver, as long as there's enough steel in the cylinder. Case in point, Smith & Wesson's 500 Smith & Wesson Mag, which was built to be the most powerful revolver-specific cartridge ever. The two guns available for it now are from Smith & Wesson. Both weigh in at roughly 3.5 pounds. Which is going to make for some very sprained wrist. There's 20 loads listed on a popular online ammo retailer. Selections for this caliber isn't limited. Options include loads from Hornady, Corbin, Federal, HSM, I don't know who that is, Magtech, Grizzly, Swift, Underwood, and Buffalo Bore. Bullet weights ranging from 300 grains to, wait for it, 700 grains of flying ashtray. Underwood with a
700 grains
shooting this load multiple times consecutively. It's trucking along at a mere 1,200 feet per second. This monstrosity is significantly slower than any other load on the list. However, in terms of energy, it produces a literal ton of energy, hitting at 2,239 foot-pounds of force at the muzzle.
God.
are roughly the same muzzle energy as a modern 4570 government load with a 300 grain bullet.
Can you imagine?
Mhm.
That just didn't,
I don't want to.
no. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, hey, Warthog drivers, are you guys watching this? You know, let's put that in the cannon that you guys are shooting.
Yeah, 700 grains. Hey, Walter, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing fair. That's as good as I'm going to say. I've had a rugged week. I injured my back last Friday. It's been a week, and it's slowly, you know, my brain says, "Hey, you're only 21. Get up in the morning and shut up and go for it." And the rest of it saying, "Yeah, not so fast, smartass." But it's
Yes,
getting
sir.
a little bit better. And today, yeah, I did get to the range on Monday, which I shouldn't have done. And then the rest of the week, I kind of sat still. And then the 6-shooter Texan sent me that bullet mold that most of you saw, and I said, I can't stand it. I gotta go cast that thing. And so I did that today. Another big mistake, not because of the mold, but I shouldn't have been on my feet all that time. But anyway, and so yeah, that was, ups and downs of this week. And that mold, you guys are gonna love. We're gonna do a short series because there's that mold, 4 bullets in one mold, and there's a little bit of new mold thing going on with the casting session today. And I texted Six. He says, "Yeah," says, "usually I work through those things before I send one out, but you got a virgin." And I said, "Well, there's always a first time for everything."
Mhm.
there was a couple of things that I figured out and got done. So that's going to be a good coming up series for the Viejo channel
Pretty
on
cool,
that
pretty
mold.
cool.
It was interesting, but I'm doing better and better every day. It just,
Good.
like I said, when we were 30, we'd have got up the next day and said, "Shut up and go for it." It's not so much these days, as all of you all that are in here know full well at this stage of life. If there's any
As
youngins out there in the side chat, which there probably aren't,
Mhm.
stand by because it's going to happen to
Yeah.
you too.
Yeah. As me and CW sit in front of the camera with ice packs on our knees. Yeah.
Yeah,
I got
right. Yeah.
I got a ripped up plastic bag tying the ice pack on my knee right here.
Hey, yeah, ice, heat, and I've got this massager thing that fits in my easy chair. It's a back and the seat, and
Mhm.
it does vibration, massage, and heat. I'm
Yep.
telling you, you sit down
Bourbon.
after. Oh
Bourbon
yeah.
works good too. Yeah.
Well, or it's not.
Yeah.
And the bad thing is, for all you younger people in the side chat, you're gonna be sitting there one day, and then something's gonna tap you on the shoulder and go, "Yeah, it don't work that way no more."
Yeah. But I'm going to tell you, everybody else, and you guys in this panel all know this. The key is you wake up in the morning and you don't feel right, and you ask yourself, who's in charge of this program? And the answer better be me.
Me.
And then you just get up and you go for it, and you find a way to make it work, and you keep working at it. If you sit down and sit on the
Give
couch
up.
and watch football all day long, you're going to die within a year. That's it.
Yeah.
So,
That's it.
yep, keep after it. Anyway, yeah, that's me. That's Viejo. So let's keep going. I don't own a 50 cal. I want to someday.
If you need a helping hand, get you a big dog and take him for a walk.
Well,
Yeah, I need
got
another dog.
Kyle, I got 2 Jack Russells. They yank hard enough.
Jack
No,
Russell
you need
Terrier.
you some 120-pound shepherds. That's what you need.
Well, that's 2 Jack Russells equal that.
Yeah, Jack Russell can do it. Yeah, they're
Yeah.
interesting critters for sure.
Try
They're their own-
80-pound pit bull.
They're
Yep.
their own
That'll do it.
species.
Yeah, that'll do it. I had a couple really good dogs. The last one, when she went, I just and it's been 35 years, and I've never been able to bring myself to get another dog after that one. That dog was that good.
I
And
haven't given up yet, VAO. Maybe when these pass on, I will. But I haven't
Yeah.
been able to do it yet.
I want to. I'm a dog man. Catherine, the girlfriend, she's a cat woman, which is fine. The right cat, I'll tolerate, but as long as there's no more than one. But
Yeah.
but I could use
I,
another dog. It's just
my daughter's got a cat, and she's somewhat autistic, so I consented to let her bring it in the house, and I practiced dry fire on it. Of course, she can't. She can't. She can't bring it out of her room. She's got a dog pet cage on her door. She can't bring it out of her room with a Jack Russell. If Jack Russell gets a hold of it, it's gone.
yeah.
All they, it's just like Jamie's 80-pound pit bull. They go, and that's it. Break every
I've got a
bone in
really
your
good
body.
friend with a Jack Russell right now, and I said, "That's a Jack Russell Terrier, right?" And he said, "No, Jack Russell Terrorist."
Terrorist.
You spell it different.
Yeah, terrorist.
Yeah.
Jamie, you're talking about the 500 Smith & Wesson. Magnum Research countered that with the BFR and 4570. Can you imagine?
Well, Texarkana was trying to get me to commit to buy a 350 Legend for revolver from
Smith.
that boat. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Magnum Research, a BFR.
Yeah.
But yeah, here's a couple of more for y'all. So obviously the 500 Smith & Wesson mag was a little much for some folks, so they come out with the 500 Smith & Wesson Special, which basically cut the case down by 0.35 inch shorter. And you lose a little power. Golly, man.
It's still ignorant.
Well, it's still,
Yeah.
that's the same thing as the 44 Special and the 44 Magnum, the 38 Special and the 357 Magnum.
We have since dumbed down the 500 Smith & Wesson to where it's actually comfortable to shoot. Shooting the same 440 grain bullet with different powder and different loads. It's actually comfortable to shoot now. But yeah, the first rounds, no, we messed something up.
So there's also one called the 500 JRH, and it's basically built off of the Smith & Wesson's 500 Magnum cartridge, and they cut it down 0.2 inches. So what it is basically the bridges the gap between the 500 Smith & Wesson Special and the 500 Magnum. Then the one y'all want to talk about, the 500 Limeball, originally shot through customized Ruger revolvers. The 500 Limeball was created by John Limeball, who took a 348 Winchester cartridge, cut it down to 1.5 inches, and fit it with a 50 caliber bullets. Magnum Research now makes a 500 Limeball revolver, and guns can still be had from John Limeball himself. Buffalo Bore makes a few stout loads for firearms chambered in this 50 caliber pistol cartridge, ranging from a 350 grain load going over 1,500 feet per second to a 525 grain load at just under the speed of sound at 1,100 feet per second. Put you a can on that, boys, and see what happens.
God almighty.
Buffalo Bore also offers brass for those who reload, but with loads like that, you'll be hard pressed to beat to best the factory ammo available. Obviously, the author of this article does not reload. There's nothing we can't do better. His name is Dennis Bradley. And this article was posted October 10th of 2022 in the NRA Shooting Illustrated.com. So if y'all want to go look it up.
I don't know. When it gets up to 50, I don't know that I want to do better. You know, doing better creates more pain.
Well, if you can, my thing is you can make probably a more accurate cartridge that's
Oh, yeah.
with a little less power, and that's actually comfortable to shoot and more accurate at the same time. So that's what we would be after as hand loaders on that particular kind of thing. Let me rattle off some of these African game cartridges. Some of them will sound familiar, some of them won't. 375 H&H Magnum. I think we've all heard of it. I doubt many of us have actually shot it. The 416 Rigby.
Oh, yeah.
470 Nitro Express. 375 Ruger. The 458 Winchester Magnum. The 404 Jeffrey. How many of y'all heard of that one before?
Heard of
it, never shot it.
Never shot.
416 Remington Magnum.
Shot that.
505 Gibbs.
Never shot that.
The 9.3 by 62 Mauser.
I've shot that.
And the 72.
4570 Government. I would not consider that. I wouldn't consider that a dangerous game cartridge. I guess it would be around here.
With the right, with the right bullet, it could be. I mean, I wouldn't want to go Cape Buffalo hunt with it, but if that's all I had.
It's been used a lot.
Yep. Most of those guys use solids on the big buffalo, don't they? For penetration.
Do what?
They use solids. Solid bullets. Like monolithic.
Yeah, that could be. There's some things though that I think shouldn't be hunted. Like pretty much any endangered species, I don't think should be hunted. Now, if you got to defend yourself, that's a different thing. Oh, one more thing I wanted to show y'all. This is going to freak you out, Walter. You probably know about this. Here's a 50 GI and a 45 ACP on the right.
Yep.
See the massively rebated rim down here? It looks to be the same size as the 45 ACP. I think Glenn Davis out there, I think he was saying basically change a barrel in a 45 ACP and you're good to go with that. But as I look,
that 50 GI looks like a big gal. All it needs is a cigarette in her mouth at a barbecue buffet.
Seems like it put a lot of stress on your extractor, that big around, if you were to just rebarrel a 45 ACP. I don't know.
it was introduced in 2004 SHOT Show alongside the Guncrafter Industries model number 1, a variation of the 1911. Operates at pressures comparable to 45 ACP, around 15,000 psi. Felt recoil is not like that, is not unlike that of the 45 ACP.
Well, recoil on a 45 ACP is not that big.
No, it's not at all. So anyway, I thought y'all might find that interesting.
Yeah, it is interesting. I didn't
50
know anything about that.
GI is one that, I'm sorry. 50 GI is not one that I'm not familiar with. Good point there, Thorzax. Oh, Vanessa. One large snowplow berg still melting here in a parking lot. Vanessa says she hunted moose and bear with 300 Win Mag. Yeah, that's pretty much take care of anything in this.
I hunted bear once. It was cold. That's a joke, son.
Skin that pilgrim, I'll bring you another.
My mind wasn't
Hey.
even on that track.
We're here to have fun, aren't
Took me a
That's
minute to get that
we?
one.
Yeah, we don't know. What better?
Mr. Pollard. He says at 338 Win Mag's the hardest kicking round I've shot. So Glenn Davis got your note over there, Walter.
I saw that. Yeah, keep us posted on how that goes for you, Glenn. I know of that mold. It's a good one, and I think you're going to like it.
Yeah, I got to pick up lead this weekend. My guy called me and told me he's got 10 5-gallon buckets full.
As Willie would say, woohoo.
I don't know if my car can handle that.
I don't think so.
I told him I might have to make 2 trips. He said, no, you bring it to the house.
What do you drive, Bama Dad? A Prius?
No,
I doubt you could pick up a full 5-gallon pail of. Well, you could.
hey, getting it up and getting it in the back of my car is tough.
You know, I picked up a full Homer bucket full. Well, I didn't pick it up. I went to go pick it up. The guy brought it out on a hand truck. And I said, what am I going to do with that? We split it into 2 buckets. You can't move it around. You can't pick it up very far. It probably weighed 300 pounds, 250
Oh,
pounds.
yeah. Yep.
I know this guy, these will be slapped full.
When I get them, they're full of everything. They got lug nuts in it. They got tire valves in it. They got everything.
I'll get a lot of that too.
All right,
It all
well,
makes
I'll
the
carry
roads
on. I gotta take care of something right quick. I'll be right back.
Hey, the first thing I always do, this sounds crazy, but I put about a quarter cup of Dawn and take the garden hose and fill them up and let them sit for a day.
Get the crap off of them.
Yeah, because they're filthy.
Oh, yeah. Y'all need to get on Tread. Next time you talk to Tread, I gave him an entire shower pan, pure lead, last time he was here. Help him throw it in his back of his SUV. I ain't seen that yet. Good,
Wow.
good Lord.
Hey, dog. What's out there?
Get it.
Squirrel watch. Yep.
Sound
I love it.
Sound like
Nice.
cool hand Luke here for a minute.
Yeah. The best deal I ever had on lead was when I was still shooting at local range here, and some of you guys know they have since gone, all lead free, and so I don't even go there anymore at the local club. But before that, I could go out there and I could scoop up 2 5-gallon cans. Only fill up that far because, like we were saying, because you can't lift them past that. And it was 80% recovery when I smelted that stuff down. Because I took a kitty litter scoop and just like that, and in just minutes. That stuff was laying on the surface, and I got so much lead out of those guys. I don't need to ever scrounge lead again. I got more lead than I'm going to live to shoot. I'll tell you that right now.
I was out behind our 100-yard targets just 2 weeks ago, and the way our property is, we're supposed to only shoot straight down range. You're not supposed to shoot across at all. You could shoot across from left to right perfectly safe, but right to left is a problem. We got a big berm, and there's houses back there, so we really take care. And we had like a spot that we were worried about, so we one of our members got telephone poles, so we dropped in about 300 or 400 telephone poles. It's a pile. It's got to be 20 feet high.
Wow.
And we put them facing the firing line.
Yeah.
So you're
So
not
you gotta
shooting
go
the side.
all the way through it.
Yeah, you're shooting in the end grain.
Yeah.
And it's if you shoot all the way to the left-hand side, which is where I shoot, because that's where the target frames are, you don't have to walk as far. You still got to walk to 100 and 200, 50, 100 and 200, but you only got to walk like 15 feet to put your target out. So I found, my buddy found, like 4 of my 350 grain bullets I was shooting subsonic. They hit the end of those logs. They don't penetrate at 150 yards. They hit and they bounce off and lay on the ground.
Oh boy.
They weren't hardly even mushroomed. Hardly even mushroomed.
Make you think, yeah.
Yeah. Those are out of the 450 Bushmaster, suppressed.
Gosh,
shot over the winter. Yep. You said that. You didn't think of that.
Bullet casters are a different breed, I'll tell you. Once you start bullet casting, you thought you were a scrounger when you started reloading, looking for brass.
Yeah.
Wait till you start casting and start looking for alloy.
Well, I got a half a bucket of 223s, 300 blackouts, 44 mags, and 45 autos. I thought I had a gold mine. I never find brass at my range, ever.
Right.
Some people look at sailboats for a boat.
I did it once.
Yeah, I hear you.
I did it once.
I got some out in the backyard and just waiting for me to figure out how I'm going to cut that stuff in half to fit in my pots.
Chainsaw. We used a chainsaw.
Yeah, that's what you got to do. You got to wait till Lowe's or Home Depot or Menards or whoever puts their chainsaw chains on sale, and then you just buy 5 of them. You can sharpen them about 3 or 4 times each, and then you just put a new one on there and keep on trucking.
Sawzall didn't work.
No,
but it is a viable source, and you guys know I'm here on the coast, and we've got a couple of boatyards relatively close by, so I've probably got 200 pounds of sailboat ballast sitting in the backyard, just waiting for me to cut it into chunks that'll fit in my smelting pot.
You can use an axe and a sledgehammer.
Yeah,
you can cut through it if it's not too thick.
if you don't like your axe.
No, it won't.
Yeah.
It won't hurt it.
I've got a guy.
No, what else works good is if you got pieces you can pick up and you got a press or a for pressing in bearings and stuff on an automotive with just an axe head. It goes right through it like butter.
That's true. Yeah.
Big chunk of wood, walnut. Oak or something. You put the lid on top. You put the axe on it, and you just push it right down. Clunk, 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 clunk. It cuts right through it like butter. But you got to be able to pick it up.
Yeah, I've got a buddy that said bring it to his shop and we'll cut it up. I'm like, I'd have to have a track hoe to get it on a truck to get it to the shop.
Yeah. I use my reciprocating, saw with Harbor Freight throwaway blades, and you're going to destroy 1 or 2 of them cutting through a 50-pound chunk of that stuff, but so what? It was free lead.
We used to cut. We had so much linotype in those pigs. We used to cut it on the radial arm saw with a carbide blade.
Oh,
go slow.
yeah, that's an idea. I never
Don't do
thought
it with a
about
hand saw, but a mounted saw will
Yeah.
cut right through it. It works good.
that. Yeah, I never thought about it because I got a cutoff saw too.
Yeah, chop saw, cut it.
Idea.
Just go slow. Carbide blade will go right through. Just go slow.
I got lots of linotype now too. It shows up on eBay every once in a while. The original, letters, the
Yeah.
original
These
linotype
are
that you don't
pigs.
find anymore.
They
I've
they
seen
got-
those big 18-pound pigs.
they got the where you put the chain in it and they hang down. They look like a
Yeah.
rifle stock.
Yeah,
we
they're
had
huge.
we had like 100 of them.
Yeah,
Just lay them
linotype's
in
good
the
stuff.
radial
Yeah.
arm and go zing zing. Cut
We
them
used to
in
get
chunks
that
and throw
free
them in a
too,
pot.
just like wheel weights.
Oh yeah,
back
all
in
free. All free.
when the printing industry was using that stuff, it's all digital now.
Yeah.
And so it's hard to find, but every once in a while it'll show up on eBay. Somebody's got tons of this stuff, and if you can get linotype in at your door for under $3 a pound, buy it.
Steel. Yeah, it's a steel. Great for hardening.
Somebody
Oh,
asked
man.
me, said, wouldn't it be great to get the linotype from Gutenberg that had the first printed Bible? I said, some casters already got that melted
Yeah.
down.
Yeah, no doubt.
I had stereotype, monotype.
Yeah.
I had it all. I was in the printing industry. I had it all.
Yeah, it's good stuff. It's good. If you're going to shoot high pressure cast bullets, linotype is your friend, man. You can.
Yeah, I was in the printing industry for about 10 years, but I was in the wrong industry. I was in rotogravure printing. So I could get a 55 Chevrolet bumper chromed at night, no problem. Or a 1911 if I wanted to. But there was no linotype. Yeah. But
yeah. Thor's axe. Yeah, Dave, if you're not going to cast anymore, I suspect, Dave, that you're like me. You're sitting on enough, ingotized alloy that you don't need to really go do it anymore. I've got enough, like I said, ready to go to last through the rest of my shooting life, I'm sure. I plan on living a lot longer that to keep, chasing the girls and stuff, but some things shoot better than others at this stage of the game. Anyhow, but yeah, Dave, if you got all those wheel weights, they're hard to get. I don't know about up there in Washington where you are, Dave, but down here, wheel weights have been outlawed for quite a while, lead wheel weights. So everything down here is zinc. So guess what? We learned how to cast zinc too.
yeah. Off the subject, but CW and me have been going back and forth about one of his projects, and I think he's at the end of that. All he's got to do is shoot it, and then
Hopefully,
my brand new Krieger 22 barrel 12 twist went to the gunsmith today. To get fitted into a Model 7 action, and it's going to be a sweet little gun. Then after that, he's going to fix this 6 PPC, which I guess I could probably hold the action up here, but I'm not going to even do it. But I can hold the bolt up here. It's got the bolt is serialized. It's a Remington action, and the bolt has it's got 4 numbers on the bottom, and it's different than the receiver. So obviously, looking at the face of the bolt, someone's lapped it and they stuck it in the gun. It was a different bolt. They barreled the gun and stuck this in the gun, probably out of a 40X, I don't know, and lapped it and said, okay, it closes, that's good enough. Well, the looking down the gun, the right rear lug drags, and it's really hard to close with a loaded round in it. So this is an unknown builder. I bought the rifle the way it was, beautiful stock, and He's going to have to take the barrel off, go through, straighten all that out. And I told him, I said, check it and make sure it's not short chambered. You know, I mean, might as well. I'll give you a piece of Fireform brass and you can measure it. And so hopefully we get that straightened out.
A couple of years ago when I got that U.S. Firearms Winchester Model 70, but it's a U.S. firearms gun
Right.
with no bolt. I have three or four bolts. My buddy had like 5 or 6, and there was like 4 of them, I think, out of all those that were correct. But every one of them headspace properly. Every one of them.
Right.
With a go no go gauge. Every single one of them headspace properly.
Yeah, and a Winchester 70 is another whole ball of wax.
Whole different ball game.
You got those extractor grooves and all that
Yep.
kind of crap in there.
And there's so many versions. Oh my goodness! And I couldn't even end up using any of them. I had to buy a bolt because they were all slightly different. It turned out to be a control round feed, and these bolts were all push bolts, and they still headspace properly.
Huh. Well, testament to their machining.
Yeah. Yeah. When I talked to the guy that I bought it from, it was Midwest Firearms. He's local here, and he's been in Winchester we call him Winchester Mike, but that's just he's the guy who owns the company.
Right.
He's like 90 years old. He's been in Winchester for 50 years, and he's they'll all fit. I'd be surprised. He said I'd be surprised if you found a bolt that didn't headspace properly. That's what he said. And every 3006 linked one we tried worked. Headspace properly. Pretty wild.
Well, we're coming up on time for our verse of the week. Garage guy showed up. Good to see you, buddy.
He was here earlier.
Yeah. Hey, Mark.
I've been reading. I do that too much, guys. We need to take a break. I'm talking too much on the live stream doing these.
You ain't been here for 10 minutes. What are you talking about?
I had to go to the little boy's room, and wife was in my recliner in the bedroom asleep. So
Fully understand.
I had to get her up and moved. She's been through a tough time, fellas.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I bet.
Yes. Mike, one other thing I did, I threw a pick rail on that rifle, and I mounted a 10x40 optic. It's the most god awful, ugly looking thing.
That's
But I
all
don't
right.
care. It's just to prove accuracy. It's just for
Right.
build and load. Once I
That's
build a
right.
load, I'll pull it off and I'll put the Leopold back on.
I hear you.
But it's
I
god
agree.
awful ugly. It's half as long as the whole barrel. Big knobs on it, big target knobs. But I'll see the target, and it's got a nice crosshair.
Right.
If
Okay,
I don't shoot a group, it's not because I couldn't see the target.
I hear you.
Y'all remember we talked about 2 weeks ago, we talked about Psalm 9. We talked about the praise and corporate prayer, individual prayer, and that kind of thing. And then the next week we talked about Psalm 10 and how it was like the polar opposite of 9. It's a lament about the way it seems like the evil people get away with stuff all the time. So to kind of wrap this up, I'm thinking both of these Psalms were written by David. I could be wrong. But I wanted to talk about how Jesus taught us to pray, and we've covered a little bit about Psalm 9, a little bit about Psalm 10, and we've talked about this particular passage of Scripture when we went through the Sermon on the Mount for weeks and weeks and weeks. Matthew chapter 6, starting in verse 9. And I want to, well, we'll get to that at the end. In this manner, therefore, pray, Our Father in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Your kingdom come, your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Verses 11 and 12. Give us this day our daily bread and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. Verse 13. And do not lead us into temptation, but deliver us from the evil one. For yours is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever. Amen. So we talked about Psalm 9 and 10, and we talked about the contrast of praise, thanksgiving, and both individual and corporate prayer in Psalm 9 to the lament in Psalm 10 as evil people prosper. Tonight I wanted to look at how Jesus taught us to come into the presence of the Father. In Matthew 6, this is an excerpt from the Sermon on the Mount, and its parallel is in Luke chapter 11, verses 2 through 4. And one thing I want to point out here is in verse 12. Forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. In Luke, Luke actually used a Greek word for sin. He says, forgive us our sins as we forgive those who sin against us. Y'all know I like to share with you John MacArthur's notes. Verse 9 there, he says, the prayer is a model, not merely a liturgy. In other words, it's a model of how we should form our prayers to God, not just something that we should mindlessly repeat to the Lord. It's notable for its brevity, simplicity, and comprehensiveness. Of the 6 petitions, 3 are directed to God, verses 9 and 10, and 3 toward human needs, verses 11 through 13. So let's look at the 3 there in verse 9 is praise. Our Father in heaven, hallowed be your name, your kingdom come. And verse 10 there, your kingdom come, your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. All prayers, first of all, willingly submits to God's purpose, plans, and glory. And he points us to his notes in chapter 26. Verse 12 there, he has a note. And forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. He says the parallel passage, Luke 11:4, uses a word that means sins, so that in context, spiritual debts are intended. So we're talking about spiritual debts, not monetary, financial debts. Sinners are debtors to God for their violation of his laws. This request is the heart of prayer. It is what Jesus stressed in the words that immediately follow the prayer in verses 14 and 15. And also see Mark chapter 11. And of verse 13 there, he says, do not lead us into temptation, but deliver us from the evil one. So God does not tempt men, James 1:13, but he will subject them to trials that may expose them to Satan's assaults, as in the case of Job and Peter. This petition reflects the believing one's desire to avoid the dangers of sin altogether. God knows what one's need is before he asks, and he promises that no one will be subjected to testing beyond what they can endure. He also promises a way of escape, often through endurance, 1 Corinthians 10:13. But still, the proper attitude for the believer is the one expressed in this petition. There's a guy named Larry Stockwell. He wrote a thing here, and I'll share this quickly with you. 5 points of the Lord's Prayer, often called the 5 P's, serve as a model for prayer taught by Jesus, focusing on prioritizing God's glory and aligning with his will before making requests. They include praise, purpose or kingdom, provision, penitence or pardon, and protection. Praise or adoration, honoring God and recognizing his holiness. And that's what we get in verse 9, where it says, hallowed be your name. Purpose or consecration, submitting to God's agenda, kingdom, and will above personal desires. Your kingdom come, your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Provision. Verse 11, asking God for daily physical and spiritual needs. Give us this day our daily bread and forgive us our debts. That's physical and spiritual needs. Penitence or forgiveness is seeking God's forgiveness and extending mercy to others. Forgive us our trespasses as we forgive our debtors. So if we want to be forgiven, we've got to forgive. It's said in Scripture a lot more than once. Protection and guidance, requesting spiritual covering from temptation and evil. Deliver us from evil, which is right there in verse 13. God's not going to lead you into temptation, as MacArthur said there. So this model ensures a balance between honoring God and bringing requests before him, as some traditions use a slightly modified 7-point structure, says the Catholic Encyclopedia. So this is how Jesus taught his disciples to pray. They later became the apostles. So we come into the presence of God with praise and adoration first. Second, submitting to his will for our lives. Third, we ask for provision for our physical and spiritual needs. Fourth, we pray for forgiveness. Fifth, we pray for protection. And sixth, we praise the Lord again. We should start and end with praise to God. That is worship. Notice the 3 points relating to God is the first, second, and sixth points, and the middle 3 are our petitions to God. So that's our verse for the week, but I would remind you that Sunday begins Holy Week, so we need to make our preparations for that. Next Friday is Good Friday, so I hope to prepare something really special for us for next week's verse of the week. Questions or comments?
Right here. So here's a comment from an old fart. I think that most Christians, when SHTF could drop to their knees and recite the Lord's Prayer, what prayer do you have in your own mind that you could recite every day, even if it's not one that's quoted from the Bible? Is there anything you say every day? The Lord's Prayer says, "Do this for me, my Lord, and I'm going to put my faith in you." But there's no free lunch. And the Lord's Prayer to me is a little bit one-sided. And I feel like I got to say, here's what I'm going to do if you're going to do this for me. And there are things that I say daily. I'm not going to tell you what they are, but something to think about, that to me, the Lord's Prayer is saying, it's a little bit one-sided. It's saying, do this for me, my God. But then the rest of it ought to be, and here's what I'm going to do. That's the end of my thought there.
Good stuff. But I would, my rebuttal would be what God really wants is our praise and our adoration. And when we begin and end our prayers with praise and adoration to God, at the beginning, at the end, that's what God wants from us, and for us to carry out the Great Commission, obviously, because it's repeated at least 4 times in the New Testament. Yeah, you're right, Fuzz.
I was just looking at that. 10-4, Fuzz. Yeah, point taken. But the day doesn't go by when I don't get up in the morning and look up into the sky and say, thanks for what I've got, and I'm going to do the best I can to make the best of this day with what you've given me.
Yeah, I think what God really wants for us is exactly what, kind of what Fuzz is saying. I think what he wants us to do is love him. He wants us to love him, and he wants us to spend time with him. And that comes from prayer time, quiet time, and reading your Bible and meditating on it.
Yeah, you got to think about it. There's so much in here for us to digest and and consume and think about and to act on and to realize how we have not followed the word in so many different ways, and we're all guilty of that for sure. It's important. I think it's well, I shouldn't say it for you guys. It's important for me to keep this. And I've shown you this Bible. I've had this since I was a little kid, and it's important to me to keep it handy. Even if you have no particular purpose in mind, flip the thing open to whatever page opens up and read it, and there's going to be something that you can live by right there. I guarantee you.
And Jamie, I just want to say thank you, because every week you give us a little bit of something to think about. And I appreciate that.
Well, I appreciate y'all listening.
Agreed.
Putting up with me. But yeah, I think that's what God wants us to do, is to love him.
Mm-hmm.
Amen, Dave.
Yep, exactly.
That's yielding to God's will.
Jamie, you were talking about how God seeks our praise and worship. Looking at the Lord's Prayer as it's been called, it's more of a blueprint of how to pray.
Exactly.
Good.
It's
Yeah.
a model prayer.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And, we were back in Psalms. If you look in Psalms 100, verse 4, it says, enter his gates with thanksgiving in your hearts and enter his courts with praise. Give
That's
thanks.
5 verses of my favorite psalm. Go ahead and blast that out for us.
What, the whole Psalm?
Yeah, it's 5 verses.
Yeah, let her rip. That's a good one.
Hold on.
I know I've got it right here.
If you want to read.
No, you call it.
A
I've got
psalm
it.
for thanksgiving. Shout joyfully to the Lord, all the earth. Serve the Lord with jubilation. Come before him with rejoicing. Know that the Lord himself is God. It is he who has made us and not we ourselves. We are his people and the sheep of his pasture. Enter his gates with thanksgiving and his courtyards with praise. Give thanks to him and bless his name, for the Lord is good, his mercy is everlasting, and his faithfulness is to all generations.
All
Amen.
generations.
There's a new phrase that keeps popping up in my Bible studies that I want y'all to think about until next week. It's predominantly more in the Old Testament and maybe even uh, prevalent in the Psalms more than most anywhere else. I spend a good bit of time in the Old Testament. Not many people do, but uh, 2 word phrase that I want y'all to think about: from everlasting. From everlasting. Think about it.
That's a very deep thought.
Yep.
Well,
You
that's
could.
where I'm at. So with that, we should probably start going through the room so we can clear the deck for
Yeah.
Chad and the boys
Yeah.
over at Express Talk. Thanks, Tim. That's probably one of the nicest things anybody's ever said to me. That's our goal. We just want a little minute here where we can help you understand. And if any of you's got any other questions or anything, you can email me. I've shared my email here several times, but we we just want to make a difference, and just a very small difference in your walk with the Lord. And with that, we'll let Walter go first and tell us what he's going to be working on this week.
All right. Well, first of all, thanks for the invitation to be here to participate. As always, I enjoy all you folks over here on the side chat. I consider each and every one of you my friends, and it's always a pleasure on Friday evenings to sit down and jawbone a little bit. And Jamie, again, thanks for giving us the word. I'm one of those folks who needs it, the constant reminder, the constant prodding.
We all
I
need
won't say
it.
any
Whether
more
or not
about
you
it.
listen is your own choice.
That's it, and whether or not you act on it. So it does help me, a lot. So thanks for that. So coming up for Viejo, we got a Saturday Shots tomorrow. We got a Moldy Monday coming up on Monday, and Wednesday is going to be a special day. I'm going to kick off like a mini series with this new mold that the 6-shooter Texan sent me. And some of you guys saw the video I did with the unboxing of that thing. It's a very unique mold. 4 different caliber wad cutters on one mold. Not only that, but they're very unique wad cutters, unlike any that I've ever seen before.
That's
So
amazing.
yeah, we got a 38, a 41, a 44, and a 45, all in the same mold. So that presents a little bit of a challenge for me to how to present that. But I casted it up today. Probably shouldn't have because of my back issues, but I couldn't stand it. I had to get that thing. Couldn't stand it. Had to get out and cast it, and had a lot of fun with that. And so you'll see the casting video of that coming up on Wednesday. It'll be shortchanged on YouTube. The full thing will be on my Rumble channel, and we'll have a free the few on Friday and a Saturday Shots on Saturday. And my back is doing better, I need to get back out and get back to the walking 4 or 5 miles a day thing that I usually do, because I'm getting stove up in the legs from sitting around being a vegetable this week. But anyhow, so that's what's happening over here at Casa de Viejo. Weather's been good, cooled down a little bit. And what do we do? Go over to Kyle. Are you ready to go, Kyle, and talk to us?
Sure. All I can do is just beg and plead for the good Lord to send some rain over here, because I got to pressure wash my eyeballs every morning when I wake up and every afternoon when I get home. It's the pollen is terrible. It's a little bit better. It went from sideways to just extreme. So they consider 500 extremely high, and it was 7,000 the other day. Now we're down to about 4,000. But
That's making me cough thinking about it.
we really need some rain. I had nice new black shoes. They're green. All of my pants and my shirts. I mean, my uniform is a blue shirt. It's green. My beard is green. I'm tired of green. I just need it to rain. I will stand outside like Shawshank Redemption and just spin around in the rain. God, we need some rain. Oh, it's terrible. That and everything's drying up. It's starting to look like the salt flats of Utah up around here. It's crazy. But other than that, the wife just got a new to her Jeep, and we're going to be playing around with it. And I'm sure I'll make some videos, at least some Instagram videos, maybe some YouTube videos. Other than that, we're just loading ammo and seeing what lies where. That's all I got. What about you, Mike?
Getting ready for the groundhog shoot. Not to complain too much about my maladies. Pollen's bad here as well. Georgia and North Carolina ain't too different. Everything's green. That's not the pollen that bothers you, though. That's pine. It's grass and oak and hickory and all that other crap that the bees love. But anyway, getting ready for the groundhog shoot. Got a lot to do. I've got a lot taken care of. It's on the 11th this year for us to honor Easter. It's usually the first Saturday in April, but Easter occurred on that, and I just felt moved not to hold it then, even though a lot of people were off. I didn't want rifles banging, that Saturday. So, anyway, we got to figure out how I'm going to load that trailer up full of target stands and backers and signs by myself, one step at a time, one limp at a time. I've been up and down the stairs twice through this live stream, and it gets harder every trip. And at some point, I'll be like CW. I'll have to get a replacement. And I got my wife's insurance just went to a high deductible. I got a kid in college who I think she intends to stay there for the next 47 years. We've informed her that no, you've got to, and then that's it. You got to do your own thing. Tough love. We've all done it. If you've got children, we've all done it. But projects I'm working on, building a new walk-in varminter, thumb hole, 222. Hopefully it's a tack driver with a Krieger barrel, and getting a PPC fixed unknown builder custom barrel. It's got a dragon lug, and I got to smooth up that Ruger Montato. It's just not. I put lighter springs in it. It's just not. It's not like the old Vaqueros. I want it smooth. So a guy who's a guitar builder and also a Ruger single action guy brought me some sanding cloths that go down to 1200. And he said, take your time to start with it. I said, I know the drill. And I got to get that done. So anyway, plenty of projects, plenty of physical maladies. I also have a bad back VAO. So that doesn't help with the bad knee. It makes your balance like, you know, but I'll get over it. I thank the Lord every day when I get up and take a breath. You know, hey, I got another day. You know, thank you, God, on this beautiful earth in North Carolina, which I think He put me in this state for a reason. So, anyway, Bama Dad, what you got?
Just some, I guess just doing some reloading. That's about it. Not a whole lot. Need to do some shooting.
Yep.
Quite a bit. But other than that, that's about all. That and yard work. See,
Heck with yard work.
Yeah, shoot now, yard work, mañana.
Later. Yeah, right.
Yard work's overrated.
Yeah.
Exactly. You know.
All right, CW, what you got?
I've got 3 videos next week and for a couple of weeks out through the middle of April. And I got a couple of new projects coming up. I got that 308 to the range last video, and we had a real good time with that. And I get out a couple more times, and that thing is solid. Really, really, really solid. Having a good time with that. And really appreciate everybody on the panel and everybody in the side chat. Kind of a different talk for us tonight. Calibers we don't normally talk about or deal with or shoot much, but good time. It's really good time. Thank you, everybody. And Jamie, turn it over to you.
There is a new member of the family coming home tomorrow,
The heck?
and it starts with S&W.
Oh no, not another 586, is it? I mean, come on.
No, I'll tell y'all after this.
Okay.
I might do a video about it, but let's leave y'all with this. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make His face shine upon you and be gracious to you. The Lord lift up His countenance upon you and give you peace. We hope the Lord blesses y'all all real good. And if He's willing, we'll see y'all next Friday night at 8 o'clock